everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the Moms Making Money Show. We switched things up a little bit today, and we're so exciting. And we've already got Amanda popping on telling us, yay, that the timing is great. So maybe we'll just change the time of the show. I don't know. I've got like one of my all-time favorite people here, one of my besties, Nicole Santer, coming to us from Canada. And today we're just kind of want to talk a little bit and have some fun. Like, Nicole's been on the show before, and we covered all like the relationship basics of when you're starting a business and kind of how that can sometimes have a strain on your relationship. We talked about going into a business and how you have all these fears and self-doubts and all of that kind of stuff. Maybe we'll touch a little bit on that because those things still continue to come up. But basically, don't drink coffee because you might spit it out your nose, because we always have such a good time. I'm telling you, we have such a good time together half the time that that I'm just giving you a fair warning. So don't say you haven't been warned. But I want to turn it over to you really quick, Nicole. Give us a little bit, refresh everybody's memory, what it is that you do, and a little bit about you, because there's more than just being a business owner. You have a lot that you're juggling.
Yeah, definitely. I have a weird echo.
Uh-oh.
You know what?
Unplug it from the computer. Give us a second, guys. We're working on technical difficulties. I think I got you now.
Okay, we'll make it work. Oh, you can hear me like that?
Yeah, I can hear you. Whatever you're doing, I can hear you.
Okay, crazy. All right, sorry guys. So as Amie said, my name is Nicole Santer, and I'm a women empowerment coach. I really focus a lot on relationships, on business, on communication, pretty much everything you need as a woman to be successful, not only in your business, but in your life. And I really feel... Well, no, I know that we can have it all, whatever you want, whatever you desire, when it comes to raising kids, building a business, having a full-time job. You can do it all. And that's essentially what I do. As Amie said, I have a lot on my plate. I have a full-time job, a Monday to Friday corporate position, which is demanding. I have 2 little girls who are out right now with their dad for a bike ride. So hopefully they don't come and interrupt. And then I'm married too. And of course I have my coaching business. So lots on my plate, but I love everything that I do. And I find a way to make it work where it's fun and easy and just enjoyable. So I'm excited to be here. So thanks for having me, Amie.
Of course, it's my pleasure. I'm just actually sharing this video over in a couple of groups while we're getting going.
Awesome.
So one thing that I kind of have been talking about a lot in my communities, and I think you have been talking about it a little bit as well, is like people always talk about obviously like networking and all that stuff, but they usually think about networking in a way that is like, okay, I'm trying to grow my network so I can grow my business, but they don't stop to think about how growing your network of like biz besties and like-minded people is so important to actually growing your business, right? Like I've referred people to you, you've referred people to me. We help each other out like on the daily, like we're reviewing each other's content. Like, hey, does this speak to you? What do you think about this? Is this stupid? Like, and we give each other honest feedback like, yeah, that doesn't really make sense what you just said there. Like maybe do this, this, or this. And switch it around, and that, that sounds better, that flows better, it makes a little more sense, just, aesthetically, whatever. And I think a lot of people, and I'm sure we've all been there, they think like, oh, well, if I'm sharing my content with Nicole, she could steal it. Or if she's sharing it with me, then she might think that I'll run the same program as her. But that's just simply not, it's never been an issue. Like, it's just not, we do all these different things and we do them so differently. And even when I first started this show, people were like, you're going to like put other business coaches on? And I'm like, yeah, why not? Like everybody's stuff is so different, and what we teach is different, and our styles, our energy, which is huge. So for those of you who don't know, Nicole and I have actually been in a couple masterminds together since pretty much the beginning of the year. And we've taken courses together even last year, even though we didn't know each other, didn't speak to each other or anything at all last year. And we had the pleasure of meeting at a super cool, super fun VIP day. And Amanda was there too. And we got to meet in San Diego this year in April. And I'm pretty sure, I think I've talked to you pretty much every single day since then. Give or take like a day or two.
It would be the exception if we didn't talk. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, you want to give kind of your thoughts on that, on just having a network of like friends in the business, you know, that it's not really like a competition thing, because it's really not. And how it's like we're accountability partners, we're friends. It's like we're coaching each other some days, it seems like, and, you know, and we're so grateful for that feedback.
Definitely. And I used to think that there was like this sense of competition, but I've shifted that it's really abundance, that people that connect with you or need your help or support might not be the people that connect with me, or I can help them in different ways and you can help them in a different way. So it's a matter of just finding those like-minded individuals who aren't going to be petty, aren't going to be like, no, these are all my people. I'm never going to share. I'm not going to share my ideas or advice or anything like that. And finding the women out there that do. And it's so amazing when you find that tribe of people who just get you and support you.
Right. And a lot of times we think about, one of the things I was talking about in this group that I've recently started to run, the Unstoppable Beachbody Coaches, is how when you're really getting going in community, there's two aspects of community. There's the community that you create for your clients, your customers, and your potential customers, but there's also the community that you hold and maintain to keep yourself at that higher vibe, that, you know, that higher energy, and, you know, keep yourself like believing in yourself. So you have the community of the people that want to hear your message, but you also have a community of other women who support you and empower you, which is so different than I've ever experienced with a group of women in like the day-to-day workplace, right?
Oh, for sure. I work in a male-dominated industry, so to have a group of women that foster that connection and support, it was never there. It was always like, no, I'm going to be the best, and very combative, very masculine energy. But it's amazing when you're part of an MLM, you almost come in. So for your Beachbody coaches, I was a Beachbody coach previously too. You come into this team environment, and that was my first real exposure to women who got me, who were aligned with what I wanted to do, what I wanted to accomplish. And we never had that competition on my team anyway, when I was in that business. It's a little bit harder, I find, for independent coaches to foster that community. So it's really important to find, you know, local networking groups or Facebook groups or groups like yours, your goal getters, that you can connect together with women who are aligned with what your vision is and will be there to support you. So, yeah, it's everything. And you bring up a really good point, Amie, too, because when you're focusing on supporting your customers, doesn't matter what business you're in, you also need to have that help and support, because you can't show up for everyone else if you're not taking care of yourself. Like, we've all heard the expression, like, you can't pour from an empty cup, but it's so true. So if you're giving and giving and giving, and you don't have somebody in your corner saying, yes, you can do this, Amanda, or you can do this, whoever, then it's going to be hard, and you're going to be pushing and forcing it versus it being fun. And someone being like, well, no, obviously, like, you did this the other day to me. You're like, well, obviously, Nicole, you could do that, but I wouldn't have been able to do that or I wasn't doing that for myself at that point in time. So you have other people that recognize your abilities, your successes, and will celebrate those with you. And that's what's going to get you to the next level in your business and just for your happiness.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people go into it and they feel so alone, because you leave that, you know, quote unquote, or maybe you're still in the employee mentality, you know, situation where you get that, like, so you think about like anytime that you were going to go on vacation or somebody else was going to go on vacation, and it was like, okay, well, you need to be trained enough to like cover for me, or I'll cover for you while you're gone. But you get the bare minimum training. It's not like full on cross training, because people start to get like scared, like, holy shit, Nicole's going to take my job. What if she does it better than me? Like, oh my God, like, they're going to fire me just because I went on vacation, or, you know, like all those crazy thoughts go in your mind. And in the workplace, that could very well be the situation. Like for so many people, like, I don't know, but that's what we all think, because that's what we're trained to think, you know, from a society level. So the idea that we're like, here, take a look at my sales page and see what you think. A lot of people who are just entering into this online space and having people in your corner like that, they might be a little weary about it at first, but it's like the best thing ever. Oh, I've got two screens open here because in true Facebook fashion, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't for comments. So we've got Carrie on, and Jillian's here, and Amanda's here.
Guys.
So you guys, I've got you pulled up. So if you guys have any questions, you want to add anything, share anything, while we've got Nicole here, you guys want to just hop in on the party, feel free to share away. And we're glad that you guys joined us. Thank you. What would you say that, because since we met through a mastermind, let's kind of go into that just a little bit. Yeah. Here the comments are popping up.
Awesome.
What would you say are the top three most valuable things that you've gotten out of being part of a mastermind? It doesn't matter what mastermind it is.
Three. One immediately is connection. And some of the ladies that I talk to on a regular basis, yourself included, are here. That community that you build for yourself, and I've loved the coaches that I've worked with, and the one that I'm working with currently, but as amazing as they are, having other women that you can go to every single day and talk to and connect with, that is the number one thing that you will get out of a mastermind. Yeah. And it doesn't matter who the coach is, the other women who are there they're going to attract people just like you, different, but similar enough that you complement each other. So connection number one, just the opportunity to learn from other people. So the calls that I've done in mastermind programs is people will ask a question and I'll be like, oh, I didn't even think to ask that question.
Yes.
And so you learn from other people, both their successes and things that haven't gone as well. So connection, learning from others. I don't know. I can't think of a third one.
What about live events? How do you feel about live events?
Love live events. I love them so much that I'm actually organizing my own. I think there's just something magical when people can take their online relationships and those connections and put them physically in person. I know when I got to give you a hug, it made it more real. And same with Amanda, and Jillian was there that day too. Yeah. And so many of the ladies that, you foster these relationships with for 3 months, 6 months, whatever the period is, to see them in person is just so exciting, and it makes it more real. So, so the live events with masterminds is really cool, and being able to see your coach in person is awesome. Yeah. So live events are the other one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I mean, I always tell the girls, like, in any of my communities or any of my programs or any of my coaching, or even, just when I speak to people about live events, I often call it like a high vibe hangover. And most people think about that. They're like, oh, nobody wants to have a hangover. But this is like the kind of hangover you want to have. It like your energy levels are so high. It's kind of like, and I use this analogy all the time. It's kind of like when you get a new car and you're so excited, but you're still really excited for, like, you get in the car the next day and you're like, oh, I got this new car and I'm driving it to somewhere, or I'm driving it to nowhere and I'm going to go wash it. And, you're still so excited about that new car until you get like your first dent or scratch, right? Like, and so that's kind of what I mean by like the high vibe hangover, is you're still so just like ready to go. And that's why I think almost every network, that's why I'm certain almost every network marketing company has an annual event, whether it's like a summit or a conference or whatever it's called. They do it on purpose, because the way you leave when you feel and you hear the motivational speakers and you hear people's real life stories, you're like, yeah, damn it, I can do this. I can do this. And I'm like, you're on top of the world practically,
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I don't think of it as a hangover in a negative way. It's like you have this energy and all these ideas and this newfound passion for something that you loved before the event, but it's just like, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. Like, what's the next thing? Let's do this. And you're lit up and turned on and excited about your business again. It's like the
clarity.
Yeah, the clarity, and you have the direction and this new life, or like, it's just been breathed into your business. So yes, live events are amazing. Going to things like a summit or even just local events are really cool too. I actually recently just started working on a thing called Fem City, and it's getting local entrepreneurs together for a monthly meeting. So there's other things too that if they're not part of your business, like if you're part of an MLM or whatnot, you can still find those opportunities, because being online and running your own online business can be frustrating and hard and isolating. So it's nice to find that connection.
Well, and a lot of times too, it's like you hear, and I've been on both sides of this coin officially now. You hear a lot of women say like, I had to go back to work so I could have that adult interaction again. You know, like it was just like for my sanity. Even like my hairdresser, I love her and she's like super sweet, but she's like, yeah, I come here because one, I love what I do and she's dang good at it. But she's like, it's an outlet for me too, to, you know, have that interaction, you know, mostly with other women. And so it makes sense, you know, like, okay, even if you only do it part-time. But yes, because when you have a home-based business, and so it's kind of like two things. It's like, it's really cool because you do get to like talk to a ton of people, but that, you know, you're still sitting like in front of your phone or in front of your computer or whatever. So taking it to that next level, I really like doing calls with people. Like I like having my group calls with like my high level mastermind. I love doing the show because I actually get to see you guys, you know, even on the calls, I do Zoom calls. So if anybody wants to hop in, you know, I get to hear their voice. They get to hear my voice. We get to see each other's body language. That makes it, you know, that's like the middle ground for me. Like that keeps me feeling kind of sane. But every once in a while, it's like, I just want to meet you for coffee. Or like you and me and Amanda, we went and had a drink together, you know, in between shifts, if you will, of the mastermind. And we got some really cool stuff. Like we learned so much about each other. We had some really, really epic ideas, like so many ideas, you know, so that's why that's where the thought of, you know, what you're really passionate about is the stuff you sit around with your girlfriends over cocktails or coffee and talk about, because that's the truth. Like we've lived it, we've done it, and it was amazing.
Well,
Amanda, it's funny. Accountability. Yeah,
accountability is huge.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I was telling Nicole today, and I was actually talking to Carrie about it too, that I want to go on that show, Nailed It. I think I could win. Like, I'm just bad enough of a, like, cook, decorator, baker, chef, whatever. But I'm, you know, like, I'm just bad enough I could get on the show, but I'm just artistic enough. Like, I have a chance. Like, I could do it. And it seems like so much fun. So I actually looked it up and sent it to Carrie, and we missed the auditions for this season. It was in April. So... But I didn't even start watching the show till like 2 days ago. And I'm like, I could do this. I could win $10,000. So you guys,
next year. You told me about it. And I was like, I've never heard about it. But now that you explain it, I'm like, totally, you could do it. I saw you draw. You're fine.
It's like the ultimate Pinterest fail.
It's like, I was just going to say, Pinterest gone wrong.
It really is. And I did that on accident once. Like, you know, they say that trick where you go, hey, Jackie, where you're supposed to be able to, like, pipe the frosting onto a cupcake by just clipping the edge of, like, a Ziploc bag. I did that for, it was either Easton's or Maddie's birthday. Oh, I don't remember. I think it was Easton's birthday last year. And they came out looking like the poop emoji. Like, no kidding. There's chocolate, right? Oh, I was making gluten-free ones for some of our gluten-free friends. That's what it was. And they legit, like, I'll have to, like, post a picture or something. They legit came out looking like a poop emoji. And I was totally not going for that. So it was a Pinterest fail. So that's how I know. That's how I know that I could do it. Carrie says it's hilarious. Yeah, it's so funny. So even if you don't win, how much fun would it be? Like, I don't even know where they film it, but here I am putting it out there into the universe. You guys are going to see me on Nailed It. Pinterest failing it like a pro. Jillian's laughing.
That's That's awesome.
I told you guys, like, this is what Jackie's giving me the poop emoji. This is what it's like to have like people like, this is what we do all the time. Like me and Nicole and some of the other girlies, like we just, oh, Jackie ate some. She was here. She knew. She said they were so good.
You know, best poop emoji cupcakes ever.
Gluten-free to boot.
Right.
Oh, man.
But you know what I like the best is when I wake up in the morning and I'll have a bunch of messages from all like my biz besties. And like it makes my morning. I had, I think, 3 of them this morning and I was like, yay.
Well, here's the funny thing, because I stay up way too late, right? So I don't get out of bed till like 7:30. So like Amanda and you and Kelly, you got Amanda and Kelly are East Coast, right? And you're just up earlier. I don't know, you're crazy.
I work out. Try.
Well, I don't. Well, I work out, just not that early in the morning. Yeah. But so you guys have like this whole conversation. I'm like rubbing my eyes like, whoa, these 2 chicks, they got a lot to say to this morning. And then it takes me a minute. I like gotta like brush my teeth and snap out of it. I'm like, oh, this is good stuff. And I'm like scrolling through, catching up. And I'm like, yeah, this stuff is amazing. Which is really good because it sets the mood like for my whole day. Like when you 2 kick off like a conversation with me and it's all inspiration and all fantastic, I'm like, yeah, this is going. However, when we're all like in like retrograde mode or something and it's like bleh, then we're all kind of bleh.
But that's the joy, is we manage to pull each other out of it.
It's true.
Like, Kelly will pull cards for us, or I'll pull one for you, or we'll just be like, no, let's get our head in the game and do what we want to do. So like Amanda said, it's that total accountability, that support, that love and appreciation for each other. And then it's freaking hilarious. Like I don't even know. We should almost screenshot some of our conversations.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Maybe not. But it's like, it's just keeping you in that high vibe, happy, fun, enjoying life place, because it's so easy to get bogged down and being like, oh, I haven't hit this goal, or I'm not making the income I want, or I didn't sell X amount of things. But if you can make it fun and focus on the things that you love and enjoy, it just makes it so much better. And the other stuff doesn't matter. It works itself out.
Absolutely. And the cool thing too is it's kind of like we can give it to each other straight and we're like, oh my God, I never thought about that. Like, you know, it's like, oh, or like we can help each other celebrate wins that maybe we don't want to celebrate in public. So like maybe we're like, oh, like I just sold my first this or that today, you know, and it's like, well, where do you really share that? Like, do you share that publicly? Not really, right? But we can share it with each other, even if it's like, I sold my first $7 thing today or whatever, whether it's $7 or $7,000. Like we're all like, yeah, keep going. And, you know, we know each other's goals and we're like, you're this much closer to this new thing or to your new laptop or to this or whatever. Amanda says, so true. Love the connection. Carrie says, oh, that moon. Yeah. So the moon's doing something right now. It's like a new moon or something. And like, I swear everybody on Facebook is tired, myself included.
I think the new moon's on Sunday.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Because a good friend of mine is actually talking about collaboration with Biz Besties. I was like, you need to do like a woo-woo 101 for people like me. And she's like, oh, okay. And so we chatted, Zoom called one day, and I'm like, this is what you need to teach. This, and this, and this. And then it all just came together, and she's launching a course. And so I was able to kind of get her. I know. Me too. I think it kicks off Sunday or Monday. I'll have to double check. But it's like you can give each other that push and that confidence to go after and do the hard, scary thing, which we need a little bit sometimes. So.
Well, it's kind of nice too, like knowing, because like, even though like some people from the outside would look at us and they're both be like, oh, well, you guys are both kind of like businessy type of coaches, they would instantly assume that we did the same thing, but we really don't in a lot of ways. And actually it's super funny because Nicole has like an expert segment in my high level mastermind, because I actually value that part of Nicole's business and the services that she provides so much. I'm like, I have to have this. It's not something that I'm an expert in, but I have to have this. Will you be part of my course? And so she is. and it's fantastic. It's like an hour-long training, right? Wasn't it like an hour?
I think it was. Yeah, thereabouts.
Hey, you guys want to see something really cool? So the people who are going to be catching this on the podcast, you can't see it. So you'll have to go back to YouTube or Facebook and look. I got that new stuff where you dip your fingernails today, and I think I did a pretty good job. Nailed it, literally.
I have never heard about this stuff, and I'm like, I need that.
Amazon. I can't make it to see my nail girl Sarah like ever, because I can't commit to being anywhere ever at a certain time almost ever. So and even though she's like the best thing since sliced bread, I just have a hard time making it down to her because she's like 20 miles from me.
Oh,
I don't know. So in the meantime, I got it.
I love it. I'm totally gonna hashtag
nailed it on my nails. I think they're gonna probably sue me for using their show name. Just kidding.
I think you're good.
Maybe they'll let me on.
Good promos.
Yeah, maybe this will help me get on the show. Then it's Dancing with the Stars after this. I have to get there. So I'm working on my publicity with Nailed It.
They might not like that part, that they're a stepping stone.
Well, girls got to do what a girl's got to do.
Put it out to the universe.
Indeed. And you know what's so funny? Some people think we're crazy because we're like woo woo and like getting in, and it's super funny. So let me back up actually. Is we all kind of got on like this woo woo wagon. Like I think it was me and you and Kelly, like really hardcore, and Carrie's right there with us. Like she's on the woo woo wagon with us, but like right at the same time. So I was just going to say, like, right when I was complaining that I had to have a second screen open because I wasn't getting the notifications in our broadcasting software, boom, they all popped up. And I'm like, thanks, universe. Like, but it's really funny. I know it's crazy, right? But it's really funny how, like, in that way, like, our journeys have all been, like, together. Like, it's like we're just walking side by side on that journey together. Each of us has, like, kind of a little bit different interest in different things, but collectively it's all, like, moving forward together. And we're always like, oh, you had this done? Tell me all about it because I want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I did, like, my past live readings. I did 2 of them last week as part of, like, my self-care, and like I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to tell you guys. And like you did like some Reiki, and that got me like, well, I gotta do Reiki. Like I gotta do it. I just gotta do it. Carrie says it's a good wagon to be on.
It totally is. And I'll be honest, it scared the bejesus out of me. But now I was saying to Amie, I meditated and did like a chakra cleansing today. I never thought I would say those words, I'll be honest. And I meditated and I set the intention that I would do it for 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, I'm done. And I opened my eyes and looked at my phone timer. It was like 6 seconds to go to 30 minutes. I'm like, that's insane that I would be able to time that out. So it's opening up your mind to the universe, and what's the harm in believing? So yes, now I'm a crystal wearing, oracle card pulling Reiki lover.
All the woo, all the way. Well, it's funny because it's like, I like to use the analogy that like mindset is like nutrition. And this is like the nutritionist in me, of course, and, having a background in things like Beachbody and whatever, like it's not uncommon knowledge that nutrition is said to be 80% of your progress, right? And then fitness is 20%. So I like to think that there's a balance. It's not quite like a 50-50 balance, but like mindset, which I put mindset in with the woo and with the mindset and all the things that you think about. That is the 80%. That's like your nutrition, right? And you can get a lot of places just with manifesting and believing and confidence and all the things that I put in the mindset category, just like you can get a lot of places if it's strictly strategy. But when you put those two together, just like fitness and nutrition, then it's like that's where the magic happens. And it's so good when you can get that balance. Like I said, it's like 80-20. So it's not a level balance, but when you have those two things together, it's incredible. And I know you can attest to that when it feels good, when it works good, when it's easy and it's fun, like coming on the show, we're just like, today it's kind of like, oh, this isn't hard. This isn't work. Like, this is not work. This is awesome, you know? And then it's like, oh, cool. We get to turn it into a podcast to share with you guys later, showing you guys that this is one of like the crazy, incredible perks of being a business owner and being networked and connected with other amazing women.
Well, and I've been on the other side where it's been hard and I've tried to force it and tried to make it work and kept thinking, okay, this is the thing. This is the thing. And it just wasn't the thing. And then when it finally clicks and you believe and you have that confidence, it's just like earlier this week, I had a new program that I'm opening up and I had people being like, yes, I want this. And I'm like, I don't have my sales page ready yet. Like, you can't sign up yet.
Waiting list. We'll get you sold out before you even do that. One of my clients, she's
ready now, but
one of my clients, she has that happen to her sometimes. She sells out before she's actually opened the doors for the program. And I'm like, yes, like that's the best. Like, that's incredible. So
that's when you know when you've hit like that magic zone where you just love what you're doing. You have that confidence and your high vibe, and people are picking up on the energy and the frequency that you're emitting to the world. And then they're like, yes, I want to be part of that. I want to join it. I mean, you have people joining your upcoming mastermind all the time. And
yeah. And it's funny because we're always like, okay, so I'm going to do this event. Can you come? And like, we always like, we're going to save a spot for each other because, you know, it's an excuse to like hang out, but it's also fun to get people that you trust in your inner circle, you know, for bouncing ideas off of each other. But knowing that, you know, if it's funny because like, I know that if somebody went on Nicole's page and was kind of being like an a-hole to her, like, she knows that we'd be like mama bear and be like, hey, that ain't cool. It ain't happening. And like, you know, all that kind of stuff. And even like one of our mentors, she was doing a live video and somebody was on there being a total hater. And I caught it right away. And before even her social media manager had caught it and was like, what the heck is this guy's problem? And so I like called him out and I'm like, hey, dude, like WTF type of thing. I don't remember what I said exactly, but you know, it's like, you get, and even like for her, I asked her a question and it was somebody kind of like, I guess it's almost safe to say kind of like price gouging their service in a way. And maybe that's not really a fair representation, but their pricing was so outside the industry standard by like 10 times. It wasn't even like double. It was like 10 times as much. And so she was like, no. And she like went and did a bunch of research. She got in front of her expert on that particular service and was like, no, like this is just not right. And she did like a whole Facebook Live about it. So even I remember even us as coaches and then even our own mentors do it for us. Like we like take people in like our babies almost. And that's almost kind of how it feels like especially if you've worked with somebody like one-on-one or really closely, like in a mastermind or whatever, it's like, it's hard to let them go. It's, Carrie says she's got to hop off. We'll talk to you soon, Carrie. Have a great night. But that's like almost kind of like how you feel like, no, I don't want to let you go. Like, I want to keep watching you. It's like, I posted something in one of the communities the other day about like, you know, confidence and different things, but it's kind of like, you know, sometimes like you have to set boundaries and there will be people who think that you're doing crazy things and they don't agree with it because they think you should get a quote unquote real job or whatever. So I said, think about like a flower garden. You got to weed out some of the people and water the rest of them and nurture them and watch them grow. That's how it is on, like I said, the both sides of things, two communities, the people that you surround yourself with and then the people that you want to work with.
Because not everyone's going to be able to help everyone and not everyone's going to want your help. So yeah, work with the people that you jive with and that you want to hang out with. The people that you would like want to go out and have a drink or have coffee or have a meal with. Those are the individuals that you're naturally going to want to spend time with.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's like, even though like, the gal that we're part of the mastermind with now, she's like so open, so warm, so friendly. And I know we talked about this earlier that like she invited all of us to her house. Like,
I was there.
Yeah, I didn't get to go, but you know, she still invited me like to come to her house and like hang out at her house and have dinner with her. And like, that's, you know, so that kind of even got like me thinking, that's why I was thinking, like, I reached out to some of the girls in the community. I'm like, you guys want to come over and have like a pool party brunch date with me? Like,
it'd be awesome.
I thought it'd be so much fun, you know, but like, when's the last time like anybody else that you've ever worked with has ever been like, yeah, come to my house, like let's meet in my hometown, like, you know, like I want you to get to know the real me and blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, I don't know, I just thought it was such a pleasant change to really have like an actual connection with her. You know, because that's, I don't know, I'm just weird like that. Like,
no, I think it's so cool. It was funny when I walked into her house, I was like, oh, I kind of know everything because I've seen your live videos and pictures and all of this and seen her dogs. And yeah, I think it's in all of my corporate career, I've been to one of my colleagues' house once for like a social function once.
So for me, all the jobs that I had leading up to my last job, which is like my corporate career type of job, that's exactly how it was. Like I had no idea what part of town most of the people lived in, right? With the exception of one lady who I worked with. I used to work for a yacht dealership, and I'd been to her house and we had become friends. But like the bosses and stuff, no idea, absolutely no idea. And then my last employer basically was like family. It's like I knew where they lived, they knew where I lived, we'd been to each other's houses, like, you know, so like they threw my baby shower at their house, like for Easton, like, so like that, you know, working in that kind of like almost like family type of community where, you know, you feel like a family, really, you know. It makes such a huge difference. Like it made a huge difference for me in my corporate career. I stayed for 13 years, you know, and actually I just saw a couple of the people on Tuesday. I stopped by and saw them on my way back from my visit in LA for some nonprofit stuff I was doing. And so it's really neat because you can maintain those relationships and they're genuine, right? It's not just, I don't know, I'm super rigid in a lot of things, even though I'm trying not to be so rigid, like super rigid, like how I hang my clothes up in the closet and all those kind of weird different things. But like with my relationships and with my people, I like it to be fun. I like it to be light. I like it to be friendly and nurturing and just, you know, lots of love and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Not like rigid, like, I don't know.
Well, and you want the people that are meant to be in your life will just naturally stay there because you'll nurture those relationships. Yeah.
And those who don't, they get weeded out.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes people are there for a season or sometimes they're there for forever. So
Agreed. I fully agree.
Of course, because we're the same person.
That's right. We are. We're
so like your nails look way nicer than mine.
I'm telling you, nailed it. For those of you who catch this on the podcast later, you're going to have to go check because you're going to think we're nuts by just talking about this. So
they look awesome.
Thank you.
Just so everyone knows.
So easy. You're not that close to them, so you can't see all the little funny things, but
they look great on camera. It was your first time.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of stuff we do for each other. It's like Amy's downplaying her nails. I'm like, no, they look fabulous.
Well,
little sales pages.
Yeah, we're good like that. And you guys, like, I know that like today's show, was all fully intended to be fun, to give you guys a laugh, to give you guys a giggle, but it's real serious, like true to life stuff. Like, I can't imagine, like, I don't know. It's hard to say without sounding almost cheesy, but it's like, I can't imagine getting up and not having those messages to wake up to and be like, okay, or having somebody who I know is going to give me their unbiased opinion about anything, right? Because it's like, one thing about having a coach is it's great because you hire them to review your stuff and give you their expert opinion. Hey, Julie. But when you have like this network of other people, whether it's in your mastermind or you keep the girls that are your biz besties, you give it to them and they review it because they want to. They review it because they want to see you grow. They review it because they want your success just as much as they want their own success, and vice versa. So they're giving you the generosity of their time and their feedback and their opinion because they truly want to do it for you, and you want to do it for them, hopefully in return. So it's kind of it's different. Like it's not like a monetary thing. Like I'm not paying you to review my stuff and you're not paying me to review yours. We just do it because we're like, yeah, that's freaking incredible. You got it. You go put it out there to the world right now type of thing, or tweak this, tweak that, and then get it out there,
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and I lost my train of thought.
Mom brain.
Yeah. It's been a long week. Like it feels like it should be Friday today.
Yes.
And I was up because I was so inspired this week and you guys were giving me feedback. I was up late last night and the night before because, you get on these rolls, right? And so I need to go to bed early tonight.
Well, and another thing that we do too is like we share even outside of that. It's like, all right, well, what kind of computer are you using? What kind of phone do you have? Like, how did you get that picture to look so freaking clear? And it's like, oh, well, I got this new phone, or oh, I got this new computer, or I'm working with this and I'm thinking about upgrading to that. And we everything. We talk about everything. Like, confession, we talked about poop the other day. Like, we talk about everything. So it's pretty amazing. Like, I know that was probably too much information, but
I know what I was going to say.
Okay.
You're going to find people that you want to help them and they reciprocate back because there's that fairness in exchange and willingness and wanting to help because you truly love the person and what it is that they're putting out and what they're trying to do and share in the world, the impact they're trying to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't support somebody or review something that I didn't personally believe in or think, yes, this is going to help people or this is a wonderful service, a wonderful product. So you'll naturally, you just pick people that you jive with.
Yeah, agreed. And so it was the week before, like 5 days before you came to San Diego for the VIP weekend that we had together. That actually sounded really bad. The VIP weekend we had together.
Just the two of us.
Our mastermind VIP. And I met, for just a brief moment, Kat Laterzo. And I was there with Jessica Caver-Lindholm. And I had the chance to meet her and like Christy Westerfeld and a bunch of other amazing women who I'm still connected with, right? And Kat, who's like a powerhouse, right? So those of you who don't know her, you're probably missing out. But she basically said, kind of what we talked about a little bit earlier, that, in business, like there's no competition. A lot of people think there's competition because I told them that I was referred to them by somebody else who we were working with at the time, Sarah Dan. And so that sparked the conversation about like, oh, isn't it so funny how in our industry, we often refer people to people that we know or people that we've come across or people that we've talked about, and how there's really no competition there. Nobody's upset about it. Like, it's like, oh, hey, say Julie, for example, I'll pick on her. Like, hey, like I've been working with Amie, and hey, Nicole, Amie mentioned your name and said you're an expert in this. So I thought I'd check you out. I want to hire you. And for me, it's kind of like, I would never be mad about that. Like, we pitch each other a lot of times and promote each other and refer each other out. And actually, Nicole just connected me with somebody amazing. So stay tuned for all of that stuff coming up, where she kind of was like, oh, I know a girl who'd be perfect for you guys you guys could collaborate. But what Kat said is the reason why that works in this business is because we are attracted to each other for our energy and for our vibe and for the way that we present stuff, because, it's kind of like, okay, you can create a landing page, or you could create a Facebook ad, or you can create a course, right? People, some of that content is going to be somewhat similar in a lot of different ways, right? So you and I could both create, say, a branding course. At the end of the day, the client is going to learn how to make a brand, and basically have somewhat of the same outcome give or take, right? But they're attracted to us because of our vibe. They're attracted, and your vibe flows into your brand flows into your vibe, and it's all kind of so interwoven. So she said, nobody's as good at being me as me. Just like nobody's as good as being you as you. So that's what makes the difference. And, you know, it's kind of like when you hear that, you're like, oh, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like, you know, it doesn't matter what you're teaching or how you're teaching it, because there's something about you, something about the way you show up, something about the way you take a stand for what you believe in or what you believe against that is going to attract people to you.
And sharing your true self rather than the watered down version, because what happens is you say the things that other people are saying or that you think you should say, and then you're not going to get clients, or you're not going to get the right clients, and you're not going to enjoy what it is that you're doing. Versus if you just like have confidence and say what's on your mind, what's on your heart, and do it. Yeah,
I found in my experience, sometimes the best videos, the best comments, the best feedback that you get are when you're just off on a total rant. I almost whacked myself in the face. Because you just get so fired up, and then that energy is like so magnetic, and you're just like, ah. But I noticed that like when you're really going off on something that you are so passionate about, like I was talking in one of the communities the other day, and you may have even caught the video when I was on that total rant about those ladies who were bashing people who were part of MLMs. And I was just like, no, like F those ladies. Don't let those ladies bully you guys. And I just had like an hour-long rant about it. But that's because it's like when you get really, and you had a great video the other day too, because you're so passionate about, you know, the things that you share, and you're so clear on your message. And so, you know, like, I don't know, I just feel like passionate people have, you know, when they're talking about something they're passionate about, they're so confident in the way they deliver it, because it's like, you know, it's the thing you can't shut up about.
Exactly. Your face lights up and you're just excited, and you can't hold it in if you even try. Like your arms are everywhere.
Yeah. That's me.
Yeah, me too. You're like spitting on your phone or computer.
Yeah. Have you ever knocked a cup of coffee over onto your phone because you were?
No.
Oh, I've done that.
Not yet.
Oh, Amanda's off to bed. She's in the East Coast. Good night,
Amanda.
Jillian says, I so struggle with sharing my true self, but it's critical. It is. And it's, you know, what's super funny is, I struggle
Jillian,
with it too.
You're awesome.
Right?
So you need to share your true self.
Yeah. But we're going to hatch you. We're going to get you out of your shell. Can we get this chat here on three-way? I think we have to set it up that way beforehand. No, but that's the truth. Like, you're absolutely right, Jillian. You have to like somehow break out of that kind of shell.
But it doesn't have to be like all at once that you just like, boom, I'm here. Like, it's gradual over time as you build that confidence, and the people who love you will love you regardless. And the people who don't, they can just go away and disappear. The people who, I heard a quote the other day, and it's none of your business what other people think about you. So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
And if they say negative things on your Facebook page or your profile, delete, unfriend, block, whatever you need to do.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. Yeah. And it's kind of like that thing about in your, you know, when you have a flower garden or a vegetable garden or whatever, it's like, you know, pull out all those weeds, feed it to your chickens or goats or, you know, whatever you've got like me. And, and then water and nurture the people, you know, the flowers or the fruits and vegetables that are still there, you know, hanging on and who want you to pour into them, you know, like, I know that's kind of like a weird analogy, but if you think about it that way, it's kind of like then you're left with a beautiful garden that you love to see, that you love to be around, and those are your people. Mm-hmm. Nicole is my tomato.
You know, it's so funny. I hate tomatoes.
Oh, how funny. I couldn't think of anything else. I was like,
maybe something fun. I don't even know what.
I don't even know what's fun. You want to be a zucchini? No.
Nice conversation. You know what's so funny is before you and I were chatting, and I was like, my energy's low. I don't know if I want to do this kind of mentality. And then I'm like on for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, boom, right up there.
Yep. I was so like, I could still go like straight to sleep right now because like one, I'm like doing the ultimate reset. So I'm like, oh, I'm not supposed to drink coffee. So that's like cramping my style. Because I'm like a coffee addict. And then, you know, like Maddie doesn't let me sleep. So we're up 5 million times during the night. So I was just like dragging today for whatever reason. I like got up and I'm like all groggy, and I had to do some nonprofit stuff first thing this morning. I'm like, hold on. I need like some water or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was just kind of like how my whole day went. I had a doctor's appointment. They made me wait like 45 minutes before the doctor saw me after my appointment was supposed to start. And so that was just like the tone of the day. It was just kind of like, bleh.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, nothing exciting, nothing bad happened, but just was like kind of like bleh. And then I was like, oh yeah, here we go. And we're like laughing. I told you guys might spit your coffee out your nose. So I guess it's too late for coffee. So it could be wine. So be very careful not to waste your wine.
Waste your wine. I like how you said that.
Well, I'm just saying it'd be a perfectly waste of good wine. I mean, I'm not really a wine drinker, but you know, I got respect. I like some sangria once in a while. So that's about it.
You're a mojito girl. I remember.
Yeah. I haven't had, you know what? I've only had one mojito since then, and it wasn't good.
Oh.
Yeah, weird, right? I don't know if they made it funny. It wasn't right. Jillian says, you two are amazing, LOL. You are amazing, Jillian. We love you.
Yeah. I was thinking, okay, so maybe I'm crazy, but I literally will have these random thoughts throughout the day. And I had one about Jillian this morning, actually. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to do this. And I need Jillian's help with that because, and just like I had that ping yesterday about you and Amie connecting. Another Amie, who's also awesome. Yeah. But like, I love bringing women together that I know that would connect. So we were talking earlier about referrals. Like that is the best way to get your name out there in your business. And it makes you feel so good because you're delivering or over delivering and you have happy clients. And they're like, yes, work with this person or buy this product or whatever it is, because you were that amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I fully agree. With Jillian, with Amanda and her, training moms how to like work with their daughters and like body image issues, because that's so important. And I think that society kind of waters down that message because everything's so subliminal, but Amanda's out there like giving it a voice and teaching women how to address it when their 10 and 12-year-old daughters are coming to them saying like, I need to go on a diet. Such and such told me that I was chubby or this or that, or, even when they're not at all. And so even like her message is so powerful that, it's important to get it out there, and I'm happy to advocate for that, and just, I know you are as well, especially because you have young daughters.
Yeah. It's funny. Amanda, I saw an ad came up in my Facebook feed and I was like, oh, this would be something perfect for her. It was all about building confidence for young girls. So of course I take a screenshot of it and send it over to her. And I'm like, hey, check this out. It made me think of you. So like when you have people in your circle that you want to see them succeed, you're just going to pick up things and then share it with them so that they can go and take that aligned action and get the results that they want in their business or in their life. So yeah, it's like taking you and multiplying it so that you can almost work more, but smarter. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally does. It totally does. And I think a lot of people also tend to forget now that the word of mouth promotion is still the strongest form of advertising that's out there, that's available. And I think just because people get like this like stigma on, I don't know, quote unquote, selling themselves, like we're not hookers, right? So it's like, sorry.
Hashtag
we're not hookers. All right. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Totally
I know exactly what you mean, because I can relate to this in two ways, because in my corporate job, I'm in sales. Yeah. And no problem whatsoever when someone needs something, I'll say, this is the price, this is, all the specifics. But when it comes to me selling myself, it's so much harder, because you second guess, and you want to make sure you have the right price. You don't want to overcharge, but you don't want to undercharge. And it's all of these types of things that you need to work through.
Well, yeah. And then it's like, okay, so you go out there and you're like, well, such and such has, a mastermind, and it's, X $1,000, right? And then you're like, well, I feel like what I want to offer is this much. Maybe it's higher, maybe it's lower. And then you do have that. You're like, well, how come, and somebody will come to you and be like, well, Nicole's was this much. How come yours is this much? And then you feel like they're comparing, like, oh, well, if you're lower, then you're not giving me as much stuff. Or if you're higher, then, maybe you're overcharging. And but it's all so different. Like, everything is different. The, pricing is typically based on 25 million different factors that go into it.
And higher price isn't always better, and lower price isn't always not as good. So it's finding that what you need at the right time from the right person. And as the individual putting it together, I finally get this now, is that it's not about, okay, I want to make X amount of dollars in my business, so I'm going to package these and I'm going to sell this number of them. I had it this week. I put together this amazing course, and I was like, oh, I want to sell it for this. And you actually called me out on it. You're like, that seems low. And I'm like, no, this number just seems so right and so good. And this is why I'm doing it. And this is like, I just wanted to put it into more hands. Yeah. So I'm like, it wasn't from a place of fear or lack or anything like that. It was like, this is what I want to do. And you're like, go for it. So, and
then you started selling it out.
Exactly. Because it was so aligned with what I was offering and who I was offering it for. I showed up and just spoke about it as to what I was doing, and it just all came together. So yeah. And it's fun. But like, that's kind of the whole point of having biz besties, that you can bounce those ideas off of and tell you, no, you're undervaluing yourself, or, okay, I totally see why. Go for it.
Yeah. And just like, because if you do undervalue yourself, like, and obviously, like, there's a lot of different things that go into your price, like I said. But if you do undervalue yourself and you get like partway through something and you're like, oh, and you start to resent that number for whatever reason, then it changes your energy, and that's not fair for you, and it's not fair for your clients. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you could take it to the other extreme and just sit back and wait excuse me, until you have the quote unquote perfect price, which will never happen, and you'll never actually learn. So like, you can launch something for $20. I remember what Kelly did this. She did something and it was amazing. Oh, and she charged $21 for it. We're like, what? And then she's like, I will never do that again. But she learned from the experience. Whereas, so everything is, and this was my kind of ranty live video the other day, was all about taking action, so that my kids are home. I'm like, what is that noise? You're taking action so that you can actually figure out, like, yes, this worked, or no, it didn't, rather than just sitting back and waiting and hoping you kind of magically figure things out. So,
well, and I think that the best way to start really building confidence, besides coming from that, that place of passion, whatever that is inside of you, is to take action, because you'll never know if it feels good or not. You'll never know if you like it until you try it. Like, I used to think I would not like doing one-on-one coaching. I honestly thought that. And I don't know if it's because I'd been so used to being in group coaching programs or whatever. I mean, I always enjoyed when I had one-on-one support for myself, but I used to think, like, I just don't think I can do one-on-one coaching. And then I did it, and I'm like, oh my God, I really like one-on-one coaching. I like that one-on-one customized interaction, because some stuff just doesn't always apply. Like, I'm, like, I have the mini mastermind that I'm doing just for Beachbody coaches. And I want it to be specifically just for them. So they're not worried about, like, well, this life coach is over here doing this, and this accountant is over here doing this, and this, other type of MLM person is over here doing this, and it's not speaking their language. where that works in a lot of places, usually like higher level masterminds, because you have a longer period of time, that can work out. But sometimes just getting that group together on one specific thing or one specific type of, industry, it makes things go a lot more smooth. But then on the flip side, getting a bunch of people together gives a lot of networking and a lot of different perspective.
And it all comes down to what you need as the person in your business. So if you just really wanted to connect with other people who can speak your lingo and know what a challenge pack is, or know what different products and offerings and building a team and how you do that so you're compensated in your organization, or if you're looking to work with other individuals and either in your region or across the globe, whatever it is. So, yeah.
Well, we're international, so.
We totally are. And there's no rules. And there's nothing that says that you have to do it a certain way now and forever, or like you can change your mind and adjust. Talking about taking action and not sure if you would like something, I hosted a live in-person workshop for the first time earlier this week. And I was kind of like, oh, do I actually want to do this? Like, because, like the first time you do something, you're kind of nervous and you have those jitters, just like doing that. It's like the first before and after photo that you post on social media, or first live video you do, or first anything. And so I was a little nervous. And then I came home and I was like literally like buzzing off the couch. And my husband's like, did it go well? And I'm like, yes. And so like if I sat back and waited and like overanalyzed it and overthought it, I would never have done it. But instead I'm just like, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. And then loved it. So I'm like, you better believe I'm going to do another one.
Heck yeah. No, and it's so crazy because it's like, you don't know. And so getting to that place of confidence, you have to try it. You just have to like sometimes take the leap, and it's like, and have no expectations. Like, okay, if this works, cool. If it doesn't, lesson learned. Some people call it failing forward. I don't even like to say that because I feel like it lowers my vibe. But just learning from your mistakes, and not even a mistake. Like, okay, I tried it, it didn't work, or I tried it and I freaking loved it. Like it, sometimes you surprise yourself.
Well, and the thing that helped me with this is that even top coaches that are making like $100K or millions of dollars a year, they have things that don't go as well as they anticipated or as well as they planned. They have programs that are quote unquote flops, or, they learn from, and it happens to everybody. So it doesn't matter if it's like your brand new first thing that you're going to do, or if you've been at this for 5 years plus. It's the same struggle that we all go through. So
yeah, and that's perfect that you bring that up, because it's like, we just talked to somebody who is, earning 6 figures a month, and she was like, oh, I tried to launch this VIP day and it didn't sell, so I'm canceling it, and she's clearly a top level successful, success coach, but she was like, yeah, just, wasn't the right timing, or wasn't the right venue, or something wasn't fully aligned. It's no big deal. And she's like not even like the slightest bit upset about it. And it's kind of like, oh, well, it gets to be that easy. Like, okay, it's not always puppy dogs and rainbows, even at that higher level.
Well, and then the biggest lesson too is that you don't have to, like, you set this goal, say you're going to sell 5 of these or 100 of those. And if you fall a little short of that, then you take that benchmark that you had and that goal and you beat yourself up about it and berate yourself, rather than just saying, okay, I fell short, and ask yourself the questions like, well, did I actually do everything that I could have done? Was I 100% behind what I was offering? And learn from it, but then decide to move forward rather than keep beating yourself up, because that's how you're going to lose days, and they'll turn into weeks, and then they'll turn into months. And having that quick kind of like momentum to move forward and a few fast wins will make all the difference, just even to your energy. And then that's going to spiral forward and make you just love what you're doing again and know that you're making a difference.
Absolutely. Because here's the thing. It's like, so maybe you set a goal for 5 people, say, and 3 people should like sign up. Maybe it's because you're the universe or God or whatever you believe in intends for you to really give those 3 people such good quality coaching or service or product or whatever support. And it ends up being a total blessing because you're able to still like hone your skills and make that ripple effect, by affecting them and them affecting their clients and so on and so forth, that really it's kind of like a blessing.
It's always a this or something better. And I know that phrase is thrown around so much. And when you're in the thick of it, it's hard. But
if you have a biz bestie, they can help you through it.
Totally. So you have your community that gets you, and to be like, well, no, you could have had nobody show up, or you could have been like, maybe it just wasn't the right time for this, whatever it is that you're working through.
Or they can be like, okay, so you have 20 people in your community and you set a goal for 100, but you only advertise in your community, or, that type of thing, and really put it into perspective for you. Like, oh, so maybe we should have done something different or set a slightly different goal. Because we've
done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and having that person to work through it with you logically as well is so important. And it's so funny
80/20.
because we're the message thread that Amie and I are really active in, we're all coaches. And so like we just naturally coach each other. And even when I had a call with my friend last week when she was putting together that program, she's like, you know what, it's so nice, because she's a coach as well, to be asked the questions that she asks other people. Because sometimes we don't do that to ourselves. And it's like, damn, you're right. And it was so funny. She's like, you're good. I'm like, well, thank you.
Yeah. And that's so true, because sometimes we're just being so hard and so critical on ourselves that we don't take the time to actually do all the things. Like, okay, are you looking at it from this point of view? Is it this? Is it that? The things that, and also too, like being in it yourself,
you're emotionally connected.
Yeah. So it's easier for me to be like, Nicole, whoa. Did you do this? Or for you to say that to me, or for you to even come up with generating an idea just like instantaneously that I've been like, oh my God, I'm so glad you thought of that. Cause I've just been like overthinking this half to death.
Yeah. Cause we get so like zoomed in on like the micro details, and whereas somebody else is like a step back and removed, and they almost like zoom out and can see the entire picture rather than the thing that you're fixated on. So yeah.
Fully agree. Which, and hence that's why, most of us coaches keep coaches, because every once in a while we need somebody to, give us like a reality check or a boost or whatever, wherever your vibe is, you maybe need to be picked up, maybe you need to be brought back down to earth a little, whatever that is. Like, I'm going to go sell 10,000 of these, whatever. No, you're not. Like,
well, I always say a coach is there to motivate and inspire you, and to kind of give you that kick in the ass when you need it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
A good coach. That's what you should be getting.
How come it's still sunny where you are? It's like getting dark here. Is it because you're at the North Pole? No.
I'm not at the North Pole.
I know, I'm just kidding. I always say that Canada is the North Pole.
Yeah. It's funny. My parents were just in Norway, and they were literally in the Arctic Circle, and it would be like midnight and it would be light as it is middle of the day. I'm like, that is crazy. They took pictures and showed us. So they were literally not in the North Pole, but yes.
My in-laws and my stepkids, they live, I don't know, it's like 500 miles north of you up in Prince George. And so it stayed light really late there too. But I do tell
like 11 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, you guys basically live at the North Pole. It's freaking cold there in the winter.
It is. We're not as cold where we are. We just get lots of rain. So it's like Seattle is how I always describe Vancouver. But yes, it's beautiful oceans and mountains, and I love it here. It's a fantastic city.
It's so pretty. And we could borrow some of your rain here in Southern California.
Okay. I will gladly send it all your way in October.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, literally, we could sit here and talk like tonight, like no kidding, you guys. So I'm gonna let.
Do we have any other questions, Amie?
I don't see any popping up.
Okay.
So now's your chance, guys. Nicole's going to give us some information on her new program. She's got like a special promo going on right now that she agreed to share with all of you guys. So you can let them know when that price expires, and you can also just tell them a little bit about it, and then we'll see if there's any other questions that pop in the meantime, and we'll go from there. I'll post the link too.
Perfect. That'd be fantastic. So we were talking a lot about accountability and needing that help and support. And I talked to a lot of entrepreneurs, and they need that encouragement, and they need that kick in the butt. And sometimes a little bit of tough love, and how to set goals and really get momentum in their business. Because like we were talking about earlier, you can get stalled and it gets frustrating, and it gets hard, and you feel like you just keep getting slammed with roadblock after roadblock after. You can see I'm excited because the hands are going, right? But you get all these roadblocks, and you just don't know how to push through. And so what I decided to create, and I'm so excited about this, you guys, it's going to be epic. I have women who've already committed, and they're in the program. We're going to kick off on the 23rd, but it's going to be 30 days, intensive program, not intensive like hard, and I'm going to be a hard ass, but it'll be figuring out what that goal is, the key thing that you need to move your business forward, to really shift and crush the goals that you're setting, right? Because you've wanted to rank up for a while, you've wanted to build a team, you wanted to hit a certain income, but it's just not happening. So what's the thing that you need to do, or the things, without it being overwhelming? Because I'm so not about the hustle and working harder. Then what we're going to do is we're going to figure out a plan to how you actually accomplish those, again, without the overwhelm, without the drama, without feeling like you have to work until 2 a.m. and then get up at 5 a.m. to work out, and you're just like ignoring your kids and on your phone all the time, and it's breaking your relationship. Because I've done that. So I want to teach you guys how not to do that and hit all the milestones that you set for yourself. So we'll do that. There'll be additional audio training, video trainings, group coaching calls, and an amazing Facebook community, because as you're going through these massive up levels and shifts, you need to be surrounded by like-minded individuals. So it's not quite a mastermind, but it's going to be that mastermind feel for 30 days with me and these other badass women. Everyone who's committed so far, they're entrepreneurs from a variety of different businesses. Really. And I was really ranty with my husband yesterday. I was fired up. And I said to him, I'm like, it doesn't really matter if it's your business or if it's your relationship or if it's with your body. Like, the process is the exact same when it comes to goal setting, holding yourself accountable, and the things that pop up. Like, if you want to lose weight, it's really easy. Like, we all know, eat better, work out more. Like, it is not rocket science. But we miss that accountability piece. We give up on ourselves. We don't have somebody there that's like, no, Nicole, put down the donut and go for a run, or, whatever it is. And the same goes for your relationship. Like, if you're struggling, you can make a few little changes over the course of 30 days. You could transform your body, your relationship, your business, all of it. And I can show you guys exactly how to do that. So, this is the program that, guys, literally, it's what I listed everything out that you're going to be getting. It should be 10 times what I'm charging. But I decided to open up the doors because I know women need this so badly, and I'm so excited to do it. So it's only $97. Like, it's bananas to get 30 days of coaching and support plus all the audios. But I want you guys to make these shifts, make these changes, and get that momentum so that you can truly step into the life and create those dreams that you're desiring. It's time to do it now rather than just waiting. And somebody said to me, actually, I'm part of a local kind of networking group. And she's like, yeah, I really need something like this, but can we start in September? And I was like, no, like, your business just doesn't run during the school year when your kids are out. Like, come on. And she's like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, what? Of course I'm right. I'm always right.
Ask my husband.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he will never watch this. No. So that's a program that I put together, who it's intended for, why you would need it. Amie posted the link. I have that $97 promo up until Tuesday night at midnight Pacific Standard Time. So if you're like, yes, this is what I need, this is what I want, get in, guys, because the price is going to be doubling after that. And then maybe even higher. It's, like I said, it should probably be $1,000 program based on everything you're going to be getting. But I want to get it in your hands so you can make those changes before the kids go back to school and the summer is done, in a way that's fun and flowy and just easy, because it can be easy. And I so get that now. So I want to teach you guys how to do that.
Yay. Yes. Yes. And it does. It gets to, I always say, like, starting this show was easy. Like, I've never had any like heaviness around it. It's just like, oh, I'm going to get up. You know, like the hardest part is like getting out of bed in the morning and getting up early enough to take a shower and brush my hair and, you know, show up on time. Which I'm not habitually late either. So, you know,
but like, when you like it, because I'm going to be recording an audio later tonight because I'm just so jacked up now after our chit chat here for the for a while, and it gets to be that you just enjoy it.
Yeah, it's fun. Like getting on here, talking to women, like talking to my besties. You know, it's like that's fun for me, and showing other women like, if they can do it, you can do it. That's like part of my whole message, like to help inspire and empower. And so this part of it, this is like a bonus for me, like doing a show and now taking it to a podcast. That's fun. And it was easy. It's been easy. Like within the first week of, you know, launching the show, it's been booked out 3 months. Like it's still booked out 3 months. Like it's crazy.
And it's awesome. And it's nice being a guest. I've been typed out, and I'm like, have me again.
Yeah. See, I get to have some of my favorite people, whoever I want, whenever I want. You know, there have been a few times when I've done 2 shows in a week because I had a gal from Australia and our time zones didn't quite match up, and you know, just got to be a bonus. And it's one of my most viewed shows because she had such incredible content. You know, like so. It's fun. It just gets to be, that's how business gets to be. So I know definitely that that's part of Nicole's message in her 30-day program as well. So make sure you check it out. I did post the link. I posted it on the screen as well as in the comments. It's pinned, so you can hop in there and take a look. If you're on the podcast and catching this back later, I'll put it in the show notes. And if it's after the fact, you can still reach out to Nicole because I suspect this is going to become highly popular and she's going to be doing this on a regular basis.
Yes. I've already been asked what happens after the first 30 days. So there's stuff going on in my mind and you guys will hear about it. So
awesome. Well, I will let you get back to your little ones. I can hear the little pitter patters of little ones outside my office door. So
I think mine are in bed, hopefully.
Mine are not. But they wait for me for that usually. So
yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me, Amie. It's fun to just chat.
Yes, as always, my pleasure as well. And I'll talk to you in the morning, of course.
Of course, yes.
And then I've got a message from Amanda, so I will respond to your message later or in the morning because I know you've gone to bed. Thank you all for hopping on. If you're catching us on the replay, I should have probably said this at the beginning. Go ahead and type in replay. We love to get your comments even after the fact. And I know Nicole will hop on and answer any specific questions that you guys have for her. You can feel free to just, you know, tag her in that to make sure that she sees it. And if not, I'll let her know because I'm definitely going to see her and talk to her. So
just message me.
Yeah, or send her a direct message.
I met you, but yeah, anyone can.
Well, I'm going to. But if you guys have like a personal question and you're not quite sure about something, you know, reach out to Nicole directly. She'll give you all the answers that you need to make the decision to get in on her program. And you might even just want to like hop over to her her business page and follow her and network with her and see what she's got going on moving forward too. So awesome. That's everything. All right. Well, now that it's like officially dark here and my light switch is way over there, I will let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will talk to you very soon.
Thank you. Bye, Amie.
Bye.